up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, honey, and we are down here. Girl, your girl was on the ropes yesterday and the day before. I got sick on Sunday. Was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday because I didn't make a video yesterday. What was yesterday? Tuesday? Monday I made a video. Tuesday I didn't make a video. Today is Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I ended up getting sick, and I'm getting over it. I keep changing this thing because I don't know what the hell is going on. Anyway, so we're here to talk about love and marriage, Huntsville. I might have to go. We're going to do hot topics tomorrow and Friday. I don't know what's going on. I haven't barely been online or anything like that. I just been like resting. So go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. Let me know you stopped by, honey, because we are down here to talk about what's on the blogs. I mean, what's on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm trying to move my thing out the way. My computer. Okay. Wait. How is this moving? Okay. So I took some notes. Honey, I had it on 2 times speed fast because I was like, I need to watch it again to take notes. But it was a very like quick episode. It seemed like it was very quick. I was wondering when I was watching the intro, we haven't seen Tiffany and Lewis in I don't know how many episodes. Like, why are they in the intro? I don't know. I don't know what needs to happen with this show. I don't know, because the show was centered around Martez and Melody. They have divorced. I don't know if they can recenter the show around Tish and Marshawn or Mighty Mouse and Kimmy. I don't know. But something needs to happen on this show. Madani, she has to go. I would like to see Stormy and her husband on the show. I think that would be cool. Stormy is cool with Mel. I mean, I guess Mel and Martell can be on the show still, but I don't know. Maybe their story about traveling through divorce can help some people. I don't know, but I feel like something needs to happen on this show because it's really like it's getting like not so much, but it's reminding me of the Kardashians, where the show is like literally about nothing. You're just following them around, and it's not really about anything. But I don't know. So we'll see. Van and Mel are having a conversation. Mel's getting ready. They're getting ready to go on a yacht, and her mother's asking her about Martez and how he's doing, and she's like, he's been okay. He did invite Tisha and Marshawn over here, and she was like, well, where do you think that's going? She was like, no, we can be cordial, but that's it. She sees them as her enemies. She does. She sees them as her enemies. Like, she said that when her and Martell sat down for dinner later. Then Martez is down there with his mom, and she says she was heartbroken, and she would, I guess she just wants everything to be positive. I feel like she's the type of woman who, like, that meme where the little dog is sitting at the table with a cup of coffee, and it's flames all around him, and he's like, it's fine. Everything is fine. That's what Marlene reminds me of. Marlene reminds me of the person who is like, I want to say like toxic positivity. It's like when things aren't positive, you want to be positive, you trying to be positive. I feel like she's like the type to ignore stuff, And so she says, I'll cherish this moment forever. She says she was really heartbroken. That Martell, they showed that clip of her crying that Martell, cheated on Mel and had a baby. She said, Martell said if he could freeze time, he can do that. He just wants to enjoy the moment. So they're gonna go on the yacht. It was so funny when Martell gets on the yacht. He tells Mel, Girl, this is nice. He keeps saying, girl, this is nice, girl, shut up. Girl. See, I can't laugh. Oh my God, it's so hot. I have a fever too. Um, it's hot. He said, girl, this is so nice. So he says, Mel's been throwing jabs at him, but he's living in the moment. He's not worried about it. The clouds came, honey. The clouds came. Melody said something so silly. She was like, I don't want my kids to think that I promised them something and I wasn't able to deliver. Girl, you cannot control the you cannot control the weather. Why would your kids think that you promised them something and you couldn't deliver? What she say? And I couldn't keep my promise. You can't control the weather. She over there explaining, and then they start doing karaoke, and then I guess one of the little girls said, can we play your songs? And then she said, then she said, Martell, can we play one of my songs? And he was like, why would you say that? So that's another jab that he was talking about. Honey, they had the montage of the jabs. Then we get to Marshawn and Mighty Mouse, and he's talking about Kimmy's diagnosis, and I didn't realize Mighty Mouse was older. He looks younger. I thought he was younger. He had such a baby face, like really a baby face. He said older brother. I was like, wait. But then when they did show those pictures of them, when they were talking about that unruly brother that they have, they were showing like who was oldest. And I don't think that I put it together that Mighty Mouse was the oldest one. I said, oh no, he looks like the baby. Because that other one, that Tyrannosaurus Rex, the other brother, he looks like he is the oldest one, and then Marshawn, and then Mighty Mouse. I said, what? And he said his older brother. So they sat down, and he was like, man, I just got married. I just got someone to hold on to. I've been retelling the story because she doesn't kind of want to retell what happened. He says he feels bad because when he was pushing her to, leave nursing, he was pushing her to leave nursing and go into real estate. And when the way the insurance was carrying over, she missed her mammogram and then she forgot about it. So he's feeling some kind of way about that. And his brother is telling him, no, you can't feel like that. You can't like be in the shoulda, woulda, couldas. You can't live like that. Then they talk about how, being weak. I feel weak. I don't feel like I'm strong enough for this. I have to be strong for her. And he says, my job is to be a protector and a provider and a problem solver. And I don't have any control of this. And, I know Kimmy doesn't want to face her mortality and, but it's something that she has to talk about, and she's trying to be strong for me. And then I'm turning around trying to be strong for her. And we're not talking, he says, they're not talking about it. Act like it's not bothering me, act like it's not affecting me. He was like, and then Marshawn was like, you need to be sad, you need to cry on her shoulder, let her know that you're affected too. And I think it does show, like, it is kind of, for me, it's kind of odd to share with somebody as close as a husband, to share with them that, hey, I could be dying. We're all dying, but faster, right? And not in old age, right? From cancer. And you tell them, and you're sad about it, and they don't show any emotion because they're trying to be strong. And it's like, no, you don't have to be strong. This is somebody that's dying. And when people do that, when people act like they can't show emotion because they have to be strong, you're really like suppressing that, and that's going to affect your health. That's the one thing about your emotions and the range of emotions that you have to express is to express them. When you don't express your emotions in a healthy way, it can lead to so many other issues, internally, externally. But to act like you're so strong that you can't cry about your wife potentially, dying sooner than later from cancer, it's, to me, I just think it's just odd. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just odd to act like that. He said, just be real, just be real, cry on her shoulder. I think he gave him good advice, like cry. And he's like, they're tearing up and everything. And then they hug each other and they're really, really crying after they hug each other. And I thought that that was a good moment to actually see him cry. But I think Kimmy seeing you cry would probably make her feel like, oh, he does care. Oh, he is scared. Um, and so you don't have to be that strong in those moments. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was a good scene. They get on the where they're on the yacht. They're outside now. Van, what's her name? Melody and Martez. They're outside, and they're talking about being hurt and being healed. And Martell, are you healed from the divorce? He was like, yeah, not all the way, but yeah, I think I am healed. Because there have been some jabs taken at me that I haven't said anything back where normally I would retaliate. And that's part of your healing. And then they asked Marlene, how was it growing up? Did y'all talk about your feelings growing up? I feel like she didn't. I feel like she did. And she says, I was a single parent too. Martell has a sibling? How come we never met Martell's sibling? She said, I had 2 kids. Dude, Martell I don't know. I didn't know that. I'm like, I didn't know that. So she said, I had 2 kids, raising them by myself. She said something about Martell being bullied when he was little and talking about kids whining at 7 and 8 years old. And she said if they didn't do what they were supposed to do, I would give them a whooping. That's all I knew. That's how I knew to raise the kids or whatever. I did what I needed to do. And then Melody says, well, I feel like that is a part of his inability to communicate well. Is that, just ignore it, whatever, because I feel like Marlene is like that. I feel like Marlene is like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And it's a damn inferno behind her. Everything is fine. Everything's great. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm just so happy to be here. She got her crown in her cup and that damn pineapple cup. She was like, I got my drink. Girl. This is lemon, honey, garlic, and ginger tea to get all the stuff. So that was it with that. They go out to dinner. The family sits at one table. Mel and Martez sit at another table. She was looking like, what is this? I hope it is not his attempt to reconcile. There's something about Melody believing that Martell wants to attempt to reconcile. He keeps, like, she keeps saying, I don't know if that makes her feel good. I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes, but she said that, when they were on the beach, she said that he called her and asked her when were they going to get married again just recently. So her thinking like, I hope this is not his attempt to reconcile. That seems a little odd to me, but I feel like it's an ego boost for her. Like he still wants to get with me. He knows he fucked up. He knows he messed up. And he knows and he kept saying, he told her, you deserve 1,000 apologies because we had plans. We had plans for our children. We had plans for our lives. And they did. And that's the fucked up part. And you lost all of that over some pussy. That shows you don't have any self-control. You don't honor your commitments. It's really bad. And for you to, the reason was so childish, right? She's not giving me head. And she was like, if this is about head, I don't want to talk about it. And he was like, no, it's not. We got to get past that. She like clarified. She was like, if I ever gave you head, he was like, yeah. He was like, but I don't even want to talk about that. But no, because you acting like that's the reason why you stepped out and was having affairs and getting people pregnant. And then we got to deal with this woman. Like she should have stayed. Like that's how I feel about these people. A lot of these people, her, Coleslaw, Slow Slaw, Mia Thornton, all of these people who are now public figures. I wish they would have stayed private citizens. I wish I didn't know who these people were. Like, why do we know who Ariane is? Because she loved to be in the camera just like the rest of y'all. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We need to have some dialogue. She said he needs to call Dr. Francis if he has some shit he wants to talk about. She tells him it was inappropriate to invite Marshawn and Tisha. And he says, well, they had fun. The kids, they saw the kids, they had fun and this and that. And she was like, well, I will never be friends with my enemies. And he was like, what? And he was like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, you were the ringleader. And he was like, what are you talking about? You had everybody team up against Melody, Every time anybody, what did she say? If anybody would listen, anyone who would listen, you would, try to tell them bad things about me. And it's true. He was doing that. And then the fact that he made it seem like she was cheating on him, like it was just, we saw it, we've been through it, right? Stop with the negativity. And she was like, that's gaslighting. And it is, because it's like, okay, you're bringing up something that is sensitive, and it's not negative for me to say how I feel. That shouldn't be construed as negativity. I'm expressing myself. Don't try to cut me off by saying what I'm saying is negative. No, you asked for this conversation. Don't cut me off. Don't tell me I'm being negative. You're going to listen because you asked for this conversation. Telling somebody they're being negative after you ask them a question and trying to cut them off and stop them is gaslighting. It's like, no, you're not having, we don't have to talk about that. No, you asked me a question. Don't tell me I'm being negative. I'm telling you the truth. This is how I felt. You had all them people against me. Every time you got a chance to talk about me to them, you did. And they'll always be my enemies. My enemies, my enemies. He says, I don't know who dropped the ball in the conversation, but she also asked him about parenting classes. Would he be interested in taking parenting classes? And he said he would. He says, I'm apologetic. I understand. He says, I take 100% accountability for the demise of our relationship. We had everything planned out. It was because of my stupidity. I received it. I received, what happened. I'm good. Like, okay, I apologize. And he told her, I think you deserve 1,000 apologies because we did have stuff planned out and I fucked up basically. And hopefully we can be friends. I think it was a good idea for them to step to the side and have a conversation while eating in public, right? And have a conversation while they are in a good place. I thought that was a great idea for Martell to do that. I really do. I think that it was perfect for them to say, what are our next steps? What are we going to do next with this, how we are in this space or this dynamic or whatever. So then the next day they move out onto the balcony. They're getting ready to leave. He said, I wanted to move forward and have a private moment, have a conversation while we were in a good place. I want the kids to see positivity. He says he wants his next marriage to be successful. They talked about taking trips together. They said, eventually one of us is going to be married. Both of us might be married. We're going to have to figure out how to do vacations. In that way. He says, thank you for inviting me and my mother. We had a great time. This was, a wonderful time. And that was the end of the episode. That was the end of the episode. So overall, I thought it was a good way to like round some things out, but we see next week. I don't know what Marshawn said to Tisha, where she said, I'm not jealous of no motherfucking body. I said, oh, girl, what's happening? And then Kimmy tells Martez and Melody about her diagnosis. So that was the end of the episode. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.